Welcome. Thank you for joining me again in Petra's Happy Place. Today I am sitting on the other side of the little nook I've carved out for myself. Yes, the last time I posted, I was sitting on the floor so you could see some of the yarns I had behind me. Today I am on the other side in my chair where I like to sit and spend time crocheting. I have a lot of natural light coming in the window and it makes for a beautiful setting. So today I would like to talk about a couple of acronyms. I mentioned earlier that there were several of them that were going to be important in the crochet community. I was unfamiliar with a lot of these before, I guess until about 3 or 4 months ago when I started watching a lot of videos. But I wanted to go over with a few of them and explain what they mean, because if I start using these terms, I don't want you to be unaware of what they mean. So the first one I have is WIP. This stands for work in progress. Okay, so works in progress are those things that you are currently working on. They are not finished. They might be almost finished, or you've just started them, but they are still works in progress. And I wanted to show you one that I am working on now. Now I keep all of my projects until they're completely done. I keep them in a Ziploc storage bag. And I like that idea. I know a lot of people use just a regular tote or bag of some sort, but I prefer to use a clear bag so I can see what the project is. I don't like to have to open it up and see what it is. So currently this is one of the projects I'm not done with. I'm almost there. I just have to spend a little bit more time putting it all together. But it is a little purse. Okay, it's a handbag. I guess some could use it as a shoulder bag, but it just has like a little flap, and I'm going to attach a button right here. Here's the strap. I don't like too long of a strap, so I decided I'm going to just use just to make it like a little shoulder bag. So this is not quite done. I need to spend just a little bit of time and it will be done, but for now it is a work in progress. Okay, so let me put it back in this bag. Oh, and I'm using, it's called Comfy Cotton Blend, and it is the Blueberry Muffin colorway. Okay. And that's not a acronym, but colorway is the color that the company chooses to call that particular yarn. So my next acronym is going to be FO. FO stands for finished object. A finished object is something that obviously you have finished. And I wanted to point this out. This is what I have finished. If you recall, I was talking about this the last time, and I did finish it. It goes all the way down, and I think it turned out rather nice, and I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and show this to you this evening, and that way I can talk about it a little bit more later on basically what I did, because it was a little bit of just my own doing. I was using the Baby Bee from Hobby Lobby, and it is in the colorway Blue Baby Camo. Makes sense. It's very pretty, but it's nice and soft, and that's what I made here. And I plan on wearing this a lot here in the next several months, transitioning from the summer to the fall. Okay, so the next acronym is UFO. UFO stands for unfinished object. The difference between this and a WIP is that an unfinished object has been sitting for so long you don't remember what you were doing with it. You don't remember the hook. You don't remember hardly anything about it. It's been sitting there so long you don't know. Now sometimes you do know and you just have lost interest in it. A lot of people we'll do that with a larger project because they just lose interest in it, especially if it's something large like a blanket or um, maybe a very complicated pattern that they're working on. They just kind of lose interest and they go on to something else until they get back into figuring out what they want to do with this. So I do have one of those, and hopefully I'll bring it out real soon. What it is a tote bag, and I think I started this thing about 3 or 4 years ago. And I don't remember where I got the pattern. I probably could find it if I looked it up somewhere. But it is, let me show you here. It's just a tote bag. And for some reason, it's too floppy for me. And so I have to figure out what I want to do with it to make it a little bit more sturdy. I like a little bit more structure to my tote bags. But I have all the pieces made. Some of them, there's going to be a pocket that goes here and another pocket on this side. But I don't like this floppy thing here. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll have to stitch it together to make 2 smaller pockets. And I have the handle made. So it's just a matter of now putting it all together. But I need to figure out how I want to make it a little bit more stiff. The yarn I had been using, which I'm thankful for I kept, is called Vanna's Choice. It's in the colorway purple, and I loved it when I saw it, and I picked up several scans of each one, and hopefully, well, I know I'll have enough of this to complete the project because I've already finished all the pieces. Now it's just a matter of sewing everything together. So I'm excited about finishing this up. And if you have any suggestions as to how to make this a little bit stiffer so that I can enjoy using it, please leave it in the comments section below. Okay? So I have 2 more terms. Excuse me, that was kind of rude. I didn't mean to knock the camera. So this one is Crochet Along, C-A-L, cow. Sometimes when you hear a person talking about it, they'll pronounce it cow, and it's just their way of saying cow, and it stands for Crochet Along. Now, Crochet Along is something that you do as a group. Now, normally one person is in charge or designs a certain object, a certain project that they want to do, and they add to it every month. Sometimes it's only 3 months long, sometimes 6. The one I'm working on right now is a year-long project, and it is a blanket. Now, I'm going to leave in the description box the link to this particular Crochet Along. It's been a lot of fun, and the YouTuber is so good at explaining everything. She's amazing. So let me show you this. It is a big blanket, okay? It's going to be a folk art blanket, and it's lots of different colors, but it's about a twin size. For some people it might be more of a throw, but it has different colors and you're able to pick your colors, and it's the landscape. Basically, this is the background. Then you're making little appliques. Now, don't let that scare you. She's very, very good, and she's thorough about explaining how to do these. But they're little appliques that you're going to sew onto your background. So the first one, I think it was in the month of, let's see, I think this was in March, was the sunshine, okay? Now, obviously, I have not put it on my blanket. I should have already been putting all these on my blanket, but for some reason, I think I like the idea of doing all the appliques first and placing them maybe not necessarily in the exact same places that she is suggesting. The reason being is that she wants each one to be completely unique, and because you're using different yarns than everybody else, and that you are You can make it different colors. You don't have to make your sun these two colors. You could choose orange and red, or if you want to have a blue sun for some reason, you could do all of these your own, however you want to do them. So this is my little sun that I'll eventually have to sew on. Let's see here, what else? We've got, we're going to have some trees. And I decided to make all of mine autumn. It's going to be more like an autumn landscape, okay? So here I have a tree. See? There's one of my trees, and it's an orange. I don't know. It's coming across a little bit bright for some reason, but it's an orange tree. And then I've got, there'll be a yellow tree or a gold color tree, and I've got, now see, like I said, it's going to be an autumnal theme. So I've got some gold and browns, and I've got another like a goldish tan color. I've got a burgundy color. I even did an interesting different shape, but this one is just, I don't know, it looks kind of fun. It has blues, and I just love this colorway. It has blue and purple and a tan color and some khaki and some dark green, and I fell in love with it when I saw it. I made another project, as you can see right here. I made this, it's actually a shawl. I love it. It's just, I wrap it around my shoulder. But anyway, all of these little pieces I still have to put on, and we're still working on it. I'm just finishing up a barn. This is part of it. I still have to put on the roof and add all the windows and everything. But that is another one of the, these are all the different appliques that I'm making. So that is what a crochet along is. Now it differs from a make along, which is my last one, Mal. Mal is a make along. And a make along is different because in this one, all of the participants are making a basic completed project and turning them in to a central location where it will become a larger project. Sometimes, however, they are completed projects that you are using to complete a larger project, you yourself. And I am in a group. I was one of the first people to join this little group. Kind of broke off, but the one crocheter was asking for granny squares. And she said, what I would like to do is collect enough granny squares to be able to make 1,800. Now that's a lot, okay? But this particular group that I'm in on Facebook happened to have 65,000 members in it. And she was suggesting that if each one of us made one square and turned it in, she would have enough to make 1,800 blankets. And the reason why she wants to make these blankets is that there is a pediatric cancer unit where she is, and she would like to provide blankets for all these children that are either in chemo or they're facing uncertainty, and they just would, these children especially, and the families would be so appreciative of these, and I was just really excited about joining in this. So I have finished these. I made some squares, and the pattern is, like I said, it's very easy, and if you've ever made granny squares, you know how easy they are. This one happens to be even easier than a regular granny square because you don't have to change colors. I hate changing colors. If I can find a project where I never have to change colors, I love that project. So I've done these, and these I'm still working on. I still have to tie in all these loose ends, but I've done these, and I'm excited about sending all these off. And it's going to be a project that I would like to continue doing throughout the year. And I mean, you know, sit down and do. I can crank one of these little squares out probably in 10 minutes or so, and I could sit down and make 6 squares in an hour, or I can just sit down and mindlessly watch Netflix, and I could make several squares. So I'm looking forward to sending these off to this central location. And the lady who has organized this whole thing has already got others set up to put them all together, and she's already got a lot of donations for yarn to be able to put them all together. And she's already been kind enough to post on Facebook all of the squares that when somebody sends it in, she'll take a picture of it and thank that particular person for sending it in. Now, I'm not doing it for the praise or anything, but I just think it's neat to be able to see all of these different people who are coming together for a common purpose. So those are the 5 acronyms that we're going to go over today. If you have any questions about those, please ask me in the comments section. I'll be glad to get right back to you. Also, if you would be so kind as to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you would, and I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed evening. I'm going to try to get this together and get this put out as soon as I can. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. God bless you and good night.